Ah, the Sea of Thieves. By now you may have fought off skeleton hordes, other player pirates, and stumbled upon hidden vaults. However, have you embarked upon the Tall Tales? You will be required to fight skeleton bosses, rob graves, and reunite long-lost lovers. You'll be dealing with traps and puzzles galore, all in the pursuit of the shores of gold and the gold hoarder that lies there in wait. But first, you will have to recover and restore the coveted Shroudbreaker. So what are you waiting for? Grab your crew and let's embark upon the lore-filled Tall Tales. The third Tall Tale is the Legendary Storyteller. It begins on the Ancient Spire Outpost. Once you're at Ancient Spire, you need to make your way up to the tavern located at the top of the mountain. Use the ladders to get to the tavern, and beside the barkeeper on the counter is a book that you need to vote on. And then once you do that, it will start the Tall Tale. Tasha will proceed to talk to the backstory of this Tall Tale. Basically, Briggsy would come into the bar and tell stories when Tasha was young, and she wrote about the adventures, inserting her younger self into the story. And the book that she's going to give you is her diary of these tales. Once you receive the diary, you'll want to open it up, and it will be filled with maps drawn by a very young hand. The book will have 3 locations in it, 2 will lead to a key and 1 to a chest. There are 11 different possibilities. I will show you what each of the maps looks like, how I interpreted them, and the locations that they lead to one by one. You'll just have to go to the maps you get and match them up with the ones in the video. So let's head to the boat where I will cover the very first one, the Treasure Adventures. This map you'll start at Daggertooth Outpost, and there is an island with a bunch of shipwrecks, it looks like. That is probably, most likely, Shipwreck Bay. Once you're there, you'll actually notice that off to the northwest is where it's telling you to look. If you look on the map, there is not really anything northwest of Shipwreck Bay. I will tell you though that from my travels, right at that circle is an uncharted island that looks very similar to this, and I will show you how it is. It is at K9. Once you're at this uncharted island, you're going to want to sail to the middle just as the map shows and swim down to the bottom of the ocean in between the 2 islands right here. Once you do that, there will be a shipwreck, and inside of it will be an item. I am assuming it's probably always going to be a key, as this is a very small item. So grab that there and you just swim back up. That is how you find this item. The next map that we will cover is the smallest boat. As you see on this one, you start at Golden Sands, you get kind of wacky and crazy and all mixed up, and you pass another outpost and you'll still be headed off to the east. Well, the only island that is that way, past Golden Sands and past that, will end up actually being Lone Cove. Alright, once you're at Lone Cove, you're actually going to want to go around towards the east side of the island is where you'll end up parking. And just as the map in the book shows, there's a cavern that we're going to go find in there. Alright, pull out your lantern and search around. You will find a busted rowboat, and at the very front and right of the boat, you will find a item. Again, I don't know which item this is for you, but head back to your boat and we'll go to the next spot. The next map I'll be covering is Naughty Man. Now this one took me a little bit. It's this time you start at Galleon's Grave, go over to the Snake Pit, I'm guessing that's Snake Island, all the way up to the northeast, which I was assuming was Old Faithful Island because that has several levels and is very big. And then as you can see, it would be off to the left with a periscope that you can see something, and that is Scurvy Isle. And if you look at the shape of Scurvy Isle and the shape of Scurvy Isle on the map, you could kind of see it if you looked at it in a profile. Anyways, once you're at Scurvy Isle, you will want to go to the designated area on the map, which will actually be the very bottom of Scurvy Isle, the south side of Scurvy Isle, and there are some rocks there in which you will be digging, just as it shows right here on the maps. So once again, head to the south side of the isle, and right at the very south side by the rocks, you will find your next item. In this case, it was a chest for me. Alright, the next adventure we will be covering, the next map, will be Windy Wings. It starts off at Old Salt Atoll, and you fly north, and it's a big island. The only thing that's big and north of Old Salt Atoll that something could fly to would be Plunder Valley. So that's where we'll be going next. Alright, once you're at Plunder Valley, there is a shipwreck that you're going to park next to. I believe it's on the east or south side. Either way, that's where we're going to go up. Pull out your book, open it up to Windy Wings, and you'll be following a treasure map. This is basically just going up the first trail that you find all the way to the top and following the landmarks. You'll see some faces, and you'll get to a bird statue eventually, and from there you'll head west and you will find a skeleton. That is where we will dig and find the next item. The next map we will be covering is Fish Friends. Once you open this up, you find out that you wrecked near Golden Sands, and just as you wreck in real life, or in the game, you are met with a mermaid. Well, the closest thing that you could get taken to and from Golden Sands by a mermaid is Mermaid Hideaway. The actual shape of the map is also a dead giveaway. So that's where we're going next, is Mermaid Hideaway. Alright, so on the west side of Mermaid Hideaway is where you'll want to be. If you look at the map, you'll actually see that there is a arch and a very tall rock that this is on top of. Yeah, have fun getting up there. There's two ways to get up there. One is to get on your boat, sail it back out, and fire yourself with a cannon. And the other is to head towards the interior of the island, climb the mountain that resides over top of that arch and right next to the rock, and try and sword lunge from there. Now, I tried both ways several times and I wanted to get a video of each way, but what ended up working was the cannon. After some small adjustments, once I got zeroed in, I was able to fire myself off and hit this tree up here. Once I did that, it was just a matter of pulling out the shovel and digging. You just need to get to a spot you can dig at, and boom, there is your item right there. Alright, the next map we're covering is Birthday Party. You're immediately set with 3 different islands as waypoints: Sailor's Knot, Laguna Whispers, and Twin Groves. And once you look at the map, you will see that between all 3 of those islands is Wanderer's Refuge. Once you're on Wanderer's Refuge, you will want to head to the South Peak. And up there, you will find 3 barrels with a crate next to it, and that is where you will find the next key. Alright, the next map you'll be covering is Scary Friends. I'm gonna let you know that if you look at all of these little pictures, this is gonna lead you to Kraken Falls, and that is also the shape of Kraken Falls right there. So once you head into your map, circle Kraken Falls, and we're gonna go where we need to go. Once you're at Kraken Falls, you'll want to get off your boat and head to the Northwest Beach. Now, I'm going to let you know, there was not only an Ashen Winds at this thing, but another crew that I luckily did not run into, because most people do not like you showing up on their Ashen Winds islands. Anyways, again, to the Northwest Beach, where you will find a skeleton as outlined in this picture. Alright, once you're to the Northwest Beach, you will be met with this giant skeleton. Now, I will tell you, I dug around underneath this thing a lot, and then I looked at the book and realized you actually have to go to the top of the skeleton, and along its back, you will actually find in the crevices here a key. I'm assuming it's going to be a key and it's not going to be a chest, because that's kind of hard to fit in here. Alright, next map. The next map is Rescue Mission. You can see 2 islands clearly marked, and this is between them. We've got Paradise Spring and Barnacle Cave. Well, looking at the map, the only thing between those besides Stephen's Spoil is Crook's Hollow. So, Crook's Hollow it is. Alright, so when I got to Crook's Hollow, I was actually trying to follow the map as it shows. I'm going to give you a quick hint. Do not park on this side of the island where these bridges are. I was trying to get to where I could see those bridges. They're right there. We're trying to get to those bridges. Going through this cave system, just like it shows, is a possibility, but I'll let you know if you come to where the dock is. On the other side of the island is all of your stairs that you need to get and go up to get to that little bridge area. And just before you cross the bridge is where you will want to dig at, and you will be rewarded with whichever item you are looking for. Alright, the next map that we will be covering is Monster Island. As you can see, you start from Ancient Spire and head southwest to a cave that has a giant mouth in it, and you can sail into it. The only thing that you can sail into that's southwest of Ancient Spire that has a giant mouth like that is Thieves Haven. Alright guys, this is one of my favorite islands in the game. I mean, you can sail into it. And that's what we're going to do right here. Once you sail into it, you're going to want to park near this boat. It doesn't matter which way you come in, you can still get to this busted boat here. Alright, once you're next to the boat, you're going to want to pull out the map, and you'll see that you have to climb to the top of the mast and do a bunch of maze stuff. So let's get to the top of that mast first and then run through the rest of them. Alright, once you're at the top of the map, you'll find a ladder, another ladder, and a pathway that goes across this water right here. You pull up the map, continue following it, and off to the right is some torches. You're going to go through there, find 2 faces, and in front of something that looks like 3 heads, just like the map shows, is where you will be digging at. Alright gang, the next story is Batty's attack. In this story, you are running from another ship away from Plunder Valley, past Discovery Ridge, headed south. The only island that way, once you look, is Old Salt Atoll, and there is a wrecked ship there. That's where we're going next. Alright, once you're at Old Salt Atoll, you're going to want to stop your ship literally right in front of this shipwreck. I had a sword dash over to it, but right in front of the shipwreck, in the sand, is where you'll be digging for your next quest item. Alright, the 11th book is Monster Hunting. I know it shows you going south from Ancient Spire, but that is not the case. The closest place with a waterfall to Ancient Spire is Crook's Hollow. If you were to look off in the distance from Crook's Hollow, the closest thing that has all those craggy rocks that look like that in the picture would be Crooked Mast. At this, you will be searching for the very tippy front of a boat when we get there. Now, I sailed around the island a bit to try and find it. It was very, very hard to see, but I believe this is the north side of the island as I came from the south. And right there in the water is the very tip of a wrecked ship. As you can see, it got run into a kraken. Swim down, and in here you will find the next item you need. Alright, before we get to the journal locations, here's a reminder to pick up any friendly hitchhiking pirates that you can find, as they may be of help to you. This time I was able to find Static Beast, who is an amazing helper, and not only did he help me out, but he also followed me on YouTube and Twitch, just like you guys can do at the links provided. Thanks again, Static Beast. Alright, at this point you've probably opened the chest and found a plank and hit another checkpoint in the Tall Tale. At this point you will want to go and find the journals. That's what we're covering next. Just like anything else, there's 5 journals, 1 at Lone Cove, 1 back down here at Mermaid Hideaway, 1 at Old Salt's Atoll, and the last 2 are actually both way back up in the northeast at Daggertooth Outpost and Galleon's Grave Outpost. Alright, we're going to start with the one on Old Salt Atoll. Again, you're going to go back for this shipwrecked ship, and this time it's not in front of it, but actually in the front of the boat, just up to the side in a little cracked area is where you will find it. Alright, now we're at Mermaid Hideaway, and there you will want to park on the northern beach. Off on the northwest of that beach is a small campfire, and inside a broken barrel is your next journal. Alright gang, we're back at Lone Cove, and just as before, in that same cave system for the smallest boat, you will be finding the journal. I parked on the wrong side of the island and had to walk all the way there, but it is the northwestern cavern that you'll find it in. Once you're in the cavern, there will be a ledge with a book on it, and that is the journal you require. Alright gang, we are now at Daggertooth Outpost for the 4th journal. This is inside the tavern. Now technically there are 2 journals in here. They are both off to the right. The one that you want is not not the Glitterbeard journal. You want the one on the shelf. And now we can head to the last one at Galleon's Grave Outpost. Alright gang, this one is kind of tricky. There are busted up boats that are crisscrossed over Galleon's Grave. We are going to the top of one of those boats. You can fire yourself up there with a cannon, or you can do like I do, come around the mountain and take the stairs up. Once you get to the top, at the very tip of the bowsprit and inside a cage is your last journal. Let's head back. I will show you what one of the planks work like, and then we will find the last item, the ancient crown. Alright gang, opening the Briggsy chest will reveal a plank. On the back of the plank gives you grid coordinates. In my case it was R13. You follow it to those grid coordinates and it will give you the island that you need to go to. Once we're there, we will be using the plank to decipher a spot of where we need to dig, and I'll show you how that works when we get there. Alright, so each of these is going to take some trial and error, but in my case, I had to go to Kraken Falls, and I kind of knew where this shape was, as it is a ship with a Kraken face on it. So what you want to do is, just like I'm trying to do here, is line these up with the island, and then that small blank square in the bottom left corner is where I'm going to be digging. Let me get this lined up a little bit better. Right now I'm on my ship, just trying to figure out where to go. Alright gang, I am much closer now, and as you can see, I've got this thing almost exactly lined up, and that little square, or hexagon, or pentagon, or whatever that is now lined up on a spot. I'm going to go over and dig in that spot, and boom! We have the ancient crown. All that's left to do is to turn this in and be done with this quest. Now you are going to have to turn this back into Tasha at the Ancient Spire Outpost, so that's where we'll be going next. Alright, back at Ancient Spire, grab your Ancient Crown, and we are going back up the ladders that we started off on. I don't know of any other way. I think there's some ways around the whole thing, but going up to the tavern, we hand that off to Tasha, and she is super elated. Goes on about how she thought that Briggsy was lying this entire time and was not. And now she is inspired to go out adventuring herself. So congratulations guys, you just made another pirate on the ocean. But we have now finished this quest. You actually have to do it 5 times to get all the rewards, and here they are. Alright, finishing the quest 1 time through, you will be rewarded with a red hat that looks like a taco with purple feathers in it. 100%ing the entire thing, you'll get these fancy Briggsy sails. Alright, again, to 100% this, you will have to find all of the journals while on the quest and finish the quest 5 times to get all the commendations and to open those 2 rewards. Congratulations on your brand new hat and brand new sails for 100%ing and getting all the commendations on the 3rd Tall Tale, the Legendary Storyteller. You guys are amazing. I love it when you come here and watch these things. Please give us a follow, a like, a comment, whatever you gotta do, help us out, and I'll see you next time on House of HOJGaming.